Hello and welcome. You're watching Sports Buzz, a show where we bring you all that's making news in the world of sports. I'm Samriddhi Goyal. Let's get started. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulates Indian shooters and wrestlers for a splendid performance at the ISSF Shooting President's Cup as well as the Senior Under-23 World Wrestling Championship. In T20 Cricket World Cup, first semi-final will be played today. The match will be between England and New Zealand at Sheikh Zayed Cricket Stadium. BCCI announces the Indian squad for the upcoming three-match T20I Series against New Zealand. Rohit Sharma has been named as the captain and KL Rahul appointed as the vice-captain of the 16-member squad. WTA Finals to kick-start from today. 8 top contenders will be in contention for the coveted trophy. Ashley Barty and Naomi Osaka will not be participating in the tournament. Well, to begin with, the shooting team bringing in some glory for India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated Manu Bhaker, Rahi Sarnobat, Saurabh Chaudhary and Abhishek Verma for winning medals at the ISSF Shooting President's Cup that was held in Poland. Now, India concluded the 2021 ISSF President's Cup campaign with 5 medals. Now, these were 2 gold medals, 2 silver medals and 1 bronze medal was India's final tally at the prestigious shooting event. Congratulating the athletes, the Prime Minister has tweeted, "Congratulations to Manu Bhaker, Sarnobat Rahi, S. Chaudhary and Abhishek for winning medals at the ISSF Shooting President's Cup in Poland. The people of India are proud of their stupendous performance. Best wishes for these athletes for their future endeavours." The Union Minister of Sports, Anurag Singh Thakur, also extended best wishes to the shooting squad who bagged 5 medals at the ISSF Shooting President's Cup. In a tweet, he said, "Amazing achievement. Congratulations to S. Chaudhary, Abhishek, Manu Bhaker, Sarnobat Rahi on your victory at the ISSF Shooting President's Cup in Poland." Union Sports Minister also extended best wishes to the wrestling squad. Tweeting his best wishes, the minister said, "Well done, champs. Shivani, Anju, Divya, Radhika and Nisha, you have done us all proud at the Wrestling Championships in Belgrade." Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also congratulated the Indian wrestling squad, where India backed the highest number of medals with a total of 5 medals, including 1 silver and 4 bronze medals at the Senior Under-23 World Championship, Wrestling Championship. And in a tweet, the Prime Minister said, "Congratulations to Shivani, Anju, Divya, Radhika and Nisha for winning medals at the Wrestling Championships in Belgrade. Their performance is special and will contribute to wrestling becoming even more popular across India." The first semi-final of the ICC T20 World Cup 2021 takes place today, where England will be taking on New Zealand at Abu Dhabi. England qualified for the semi-final after topping the Group 1 points table. England won 4 matches out of 5 and earned 8 points. New Zealand finished on the second spot with 8 points in Group 2. Let's take a look at the possible 11 from Team England. As you may be able to see on your screens, Johnny Bairstow, Jos Buttler, David Malan, Liam Livingston, Sam Billings, Owen Morgan, the captain, Moeen Ali, Chris Wokes, Chris Jordan, Adil Rashid and Mark Wood are the probable 11. While for England, it looks stronger. Let's take a look at the possible 11 for Team New Zealand as well. Martin Guptill, Daryl Mitchell, Kane Williamson, Captain Devon Conway, Glenn Phillips, James Neesham, Mitchell Santner, Adam Milne, Tim Southee, Ish Sodhi, Trent Bolt are the probable 11 from Team New Zealand for the England versus New Zealand Super Semi-Final of the T20 World Cup. And talking about the pitch has played a very crucial role in all the matches till now. So let's now understand the pitch conditions of today's match, which will be played in the Sheikh Zayed Cricket Stadium. The pitch in Abu Dhabi is backed with adequate assistance for both batters and bowlers. The average first innings score at Sheikh Zayed Stadium in T20Is is 141. The average second innings total is 128. Both the teams are likely to prefer chasing upon winning the toss given the due factor. And in the last match at the Sheikh Zayed Stadium, Kiwis defeated Afghanistan by 8 wickets. And now that we have the names of the teams who will be playing in the super semi-finals of the ongoing T20 World Cup, England versus New Zealand, Pakistan and Australia will be playing to book a berth in the finals. However, there are a lot more factors that will play a key role in the execution of the semi-final. Let's take a look at our next report that brings you a detailed report on this.
The ICC Men's T20 Cricket World Cup 2021 semi-finalists are confirmed now, as the T20 Cricket World Cup is just 4 group stage matches away from the grand finale. The knockouts will begin from 10th of November, whereas the finals will be played on 14th of November, which is a Sunday. Let's take a look at all important details of the T20 Cricket World Cup pertaining to the semi-finals and the finals. The first semi-final will be played between England and New Zealand at Abu Dhabi on 10th of November, whereas the second semi-final will be played between Pakistan and Australia at Dubai on 11th of November. The semi-finalists for this edition are England, Australia, Pakistan and New Zealand. The final 4 were decided after a hard-fought Super 12 stage where the 2 top teams from each group made it through to the semi-finals. While England and Australia qualified from Group 1, Pakistan and New Zealand made it from Group 2. Need of reserve day. The reserve day will be taken into consideration only if the minimum number of overs necessary to constitute a match, at least 5 overs per side, cannot be bowled on the scheduled day. Will the match be completed on the reserve day? And further to this, if a match starts on the scheduled day and overs are reduced following an interruption but no further play is possible, the match will resume on the reserve day at the point where the last ball was played. What happens in case of a tie? If any of the semi-final matches are tied, a super over is played. If the super over is a tie, then subsequent super overs shall be played until there is a winner. Unless exceptional circumstances arise, there shall be an unlimited number of super overs played to achieve a result. Weather conditions. If following a tie, weather conditions prevent the super over from being completed, or if the match is abandoned or a no result is there, then the team that finished first in its Super 12's group will progress to the finals. The T20 Cricket World Cup that was delayed by a year due to the COVID-19 pandemic is finally coming to its final stages, where the top 4 will perform to their best level for the T20 Cricket World Cup final. Sports Desk, DD India.
Well, moving on, England captain Eoin Morgan said his side were favourites against New Zealand in the semi-final of the 2020 World Cup on Wednesday, as he kept a lid on revealing who would replace the injured opener, Jason Roy. The 2010 champions will have to rejig their top order after opener Jason Roy's tournament was cut short by a calf injury during their final group match against South Africa. While many expect Johnny Bairstow to partner Butler, Morgan believes England are spoiled for choice within the squad. Now, armed with an explosive batting lineup, England could also be tempted to include bowling all-rounder David Wiley to strengthen their attack against New Zealand.
I wouldn't say strong favourites. New Zealand have a full-strength squad. Obviously been hampered with a lot of injuries throughout this tournament, playing really good cricket. They guys are extremely excited about another challenge against New Zealand, and potentially the opportunity that might follow that. But we need to play really good cricket in order to beat them. I suppose replacing him with another bowler would mean that you have 28 genuine overs on the field and a lot of options. If you were to go with a batter, it would mean like a like-for-like replacement. So when we turn up and look at the wicket, depending if it's a really good batting wicket, only predicting if it's going to be a really good batting wicket, you might need the extra bit of bowling, and if it's not, you might need the extra bit of batting.
Now, for the latest updates on today's match, we have Deepika Mehto, our sports correspondent, joining us with the latest updates. Hi, Deepika. New Zealand will be up against Team England today. How is it looking like, and what can be expected from today's match?
It's going to be a super interesting match today between England and New Zealand, as both of them would be looking forward not only to a head-to-head that looks really strong and competitive, but if we talk about the 2019 ODI World Cup, where the match was decided by a super over that was even further decided by a boundary that decided the result, and England won the trophy. New Zealand would like to revenge and come back with a victory where they could not make it to the finals and hold the trophy in the 2019 ODI World Cup. If we talk about the lineup of both the teams, then England has got a strong batting order, but then again New Zealand is firing also, and they are good at bowling also. So New Zealand is the one team that was supposed to lose with India so that they can make it to the semi-finals. However, their performance was so good that they only lost one match, and that too was their opening match against Pakistan, and after that they won all their 4 group stage matches. Whereas if we talk about the other team, Team England won all their initial 4 matches, and they lost only single match, which was against South Africa. So both the teams look really strong right now, and both of them are headed towards a very crucial match, and they would be vouching for the finals berth. They would be looking forward to book a berth for themselves in the ICC T20 Cricket World Cup trophy. And the crucial toss will also be playing a very crucial role here, because Sheikh Zayed Cricket Stadium, unlike Dubai International Stadium, it is a batter as well as bowler friendly pitch. However, the dew factor is also there, which is again going to play a very crucial role in today's match. So toss is another important aspect that is going to decide which team will be having a more dominant feature.
Right, thanks Deepika. Please stay with us. We are going to come back in just a bit for more to you. Well, the Indian squad for the upcoming 3-match T20I Series against New Zealand was announced on Tuesday, and Rohit Sharma has been named the captain of the team. KL Rahul has been appointed the vice captain of the 16-member squad. However, the team will be without the likes of stars Virat Kohli, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, Hardik Pandya and Ravindra Jadeja, who have been rested for the T20Is. Now, a significant re-entry is Yuzvendra Chahal after being left out of the T20 World Cup squad. We have more in our next report.
Rohit Sharma will lead India in their first T20 International Series following Virat Kohli stepping down from the captaincy in the shortest format. Kohli and outgoing head coach Ravi Shastri have endorsed Rohit's candidature for the T20 International captaincy, but it's not yet known if he's been given the role permanently. KL Rahul has been named Rohit's deputy. The squad is without a number of first-choice players, among whom are Kohli, Jasprit Bumrah, Ravindra Jadeja and Mohammad Shami. All 4 have been on the road virtually non-stop since the start of India's tour of England, which began with the World Test Championship final in June, which was followed then by the IPL and then the T20 Cricket World Cup, which India exited at the Super 12 stage. The all-rounder Hardik Pandya and the fast bowler Shardul Thakur are also absent from the squad. There are 4 new or virtually new faces in the squad. The opening batter Ruturaj Gaikwad, who was the leading run-getter in IPL 2021, made his T20 international debut when he was part of a second-string India squad that toured Sri Lanka in July. The all-rounder Venkatesh Iyer and fast bowlers Harshal Patel and Avesh Khan, however, are yet to play for India. The India squad for the T20 series against New Zealand is like this: Rohit Sharma as the captain, KL Rahul as the vice-captain, Ruturaj Gaikwad, Shreyas Iyer, Suryakumar Yadav, Rishabh Pant, Ishan Kishan, Venkatesh Iyer, Yuzvendra Chahal, R. Ashwin, Aksar Patel, Avesh Khan, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Deepak Chahar, Harshal Patel and Mohammad Siraj. The series will be first won under the charge of new Indian coach Rahul Dravid. The BCCI also announced the India A team that will be touring South Africa for the 4-day matches starting November 23rd. Opener Prithvi Shaw and fast bowler Umran Malik are part of this team. Sports Desk, DD India.
Well, let's go back to Deepika again for more updates on the match. Deepika, we are back. Now, there are 5 openers in the squad. So, how is the management going to execute and take it forward? There are some new faces as well.
After the T20 International Cricket Tournament and after India's performance at the T20 International Cricket Tournament, fatigue has been an important element that has been talked about time and again, and that India is suffering from fatigue, and that is the reason, the major reason why India could not perform this time. However, the new squad that has been released ahead of the Test series that that India is going to play with New Zealand, there are many new players and 5 openers are there in the backup as well. So there will be 3 series and all the openers will be adjusted and shuffled according to those series. There are players who would be, there could be situations where 5 openers could be put down at the bottom of the order, or they could be used in the middle order. That depends on the call of how Rahul Dravid is now going to play a key role, and as a coach, as a mentor, how is he going to put forward the lineup, what is he going to suggest, and what is he going to coach the team about. But then again, we've got 5 openers this time, and after India's performance, Yuzvendra Chahal is back in the squad. We've got Venkatesh Iyer, we've got other players who are going to play a major role at this time. So it remains to be seen how the team is going to perform and how which exactly will be the final playing 11 of the T20 squad this time against New Zealand.
Right. Also, there are some new faces. What about those and their performances?
So players like Venkatesh Iyer and other players have been rewarded basis their IPL performance, where they played really well. Venkatesh Iyer was playing for Kolkata Knight Riders and he did I think splendidly well. So Venkatesh Iyer and other players who've been rewarded for their IPL performance are there in the squad, and there are players like Yuzvendra Chahal who are back in the squad. So with these faces, with these players who are coming after a long time and they've got a fresh talent, they've got renewed energy, I think the team's lineup looks stronger than before.
Right. Thank you, Deepika, for those updates. Moving on in our bulletin, Kolkata-based player Mitrabha Guha has become India's 72nd chess grandmaster by bagging his 3rd and final GM norm during a tournament in Serbia. The 20-year-old Guha achieved the GM title after securing the final norm at the ongoing GM 3rd Saturday Mixed T20 220 tourney in Novi Sad, Serbia. The Indian, who beat GM Nikola Sedlak of Serbia in the 9th round on Monday, has so far scored 7 points with 6 wins, 2 draws and a loss to Russian GM Vladimir Zakhatsov in the 7th round. The Kolkata player had scored his 2nd GM norm at the Sheikh Russell GM tournament in Bangladesh a fortnight ago, and had also crossed the 2500 ELO barrier in the 2nd round of the tournament. Now, to become a GM, a player has to secure 3 GM norms and gross the live rating of 2,500 ELO points. The All India Chess Federation congratulated Guha on becoming a grandmaster. Now, Barcelona's new head coach Xavi Hernandez led his first Barcelona training session at Camp Nou on Tuesday. Before taking to the pitch, the 41-year-old Barca great joined Barcelona president Joan Laporta as they greeted players including Ansu Fati, Martin Braithwaite and Ousmane Dembele in the locker room before heading out for training. Xavi joined the La Liga side as head coach after Barca paid his release with Qatari club Al Sadd. He replaces sacked Ronald Koeman. Xavi is an absolute legend at the FC Barcelona, and his 767 appearances for the senior team were a record until he was surpassed recently by Leo Messi. In his 17 years in the first team, he won 25 major trophies. However, in a total, he was at the club for 24 years, beginning as an under-12 in 1991-92. Now, one of the greatest midfield maestros of all time, he helped redefine the art with his creative mind, pinpoint passing and sublime ability to read the game. The utter brains of the team, he made up for his lack of physical might with extraordinary wits, superb skills and an extraordinary talent for governing everything that went on in the middle of the park. Louis van Gaal gave Xavi his first team debut in 1998 and he immediately secured a regular place in the starting 11. Now, the Manchester United star player Marcus Rashford received MBE from Prince William's on Tuesday in a face-to-face ceremony that was held almost after a year and was earlier delayed due to the pandemic. Now, the next report brings you all about Rashford's Nobel initiative and the importance of the MBE.
Footballer Marcus Rashford has been made an MBE for his services to vulnerable children at an investiture ceremony at Windsor Castle held on Tuesday. Rashford was joined by his mother, Melanie, whose work around food poverty has seen a food bank warehouse named after her. The 24-year-old footballer has been recognized for his drive to ensure that no child in need went hungry during the pandemic. About Rashford's Nobel initiative. In March 2020, Rashford took to social media to highlight his fears about the impact that shutting schools would have on disadvantaged children. His subsequent campaigning to ensure no vulnerable children went hungry in the UK resulted in the government changing policy over its free school meal vouchers during the lockdown. Rashford demanded that the UK government should end the prevailing child poverty in the country. Rashford then launched a public petition detailing how important it is to eradicate the social issue. Later on, Rashford also teamed up with FairShare, formulating a scheme designed to ensure that the community's most vulnerable should not stay hungry. The Manchester United star demanded for an extension of the scheme, which allows around 1.3 million children to claim free school meal vouchers in England's summer holidays. Further, the England international also helped raise over £20 million, which helped millions of vulnerable families with sufficient food parcels. 24 years old Marcus Rashford, who's now being recognized for his drive to ensure that no child in need should sleep hungry, and especially during the pandemic, received a lot of praise from around the world, along with a member of the Order of the British Empire, or the MBE. Let's now understand what exactly we mean by MBE. An MBE is an Order of the British Empire award. It is the third highest ranking order of the British Empire award. CBE is the first, while OBE is the second ranked British Empire award. MBE is awarded to someone for making a positive impact in their line of work. Rashford's honour was part of the first face-to-face ceremony Prince William has hosted since the start of the pandemic. Marcus Rashford, which is already a household name for every Manchester United fan, has etched his name in the books of history with not only his record numbers of 120 goals in 238 matches for the Red Devils within his tender age, but also for his noble initiative for the society as well. Sports Desk, DD India.
Well, the WTA Finals is all set to kick-start from today, where 8 top contenders will vouch for the coveted trophy. Our next report brings you more. Take a look.
The WTA Finals, the final tournament of the year in women's tennis, is all set to kick-start from Wednesday. Top 8 players will be competing in the tournament. However, world number 1 Ashley Barty and Naomi Osaka of Japan will remain out from the tournament for the season. In the absence of these 2 players, the young players will have a chance to win the title. The top 8 players are divided into 2 groups. 6 players, Paula Badosa, Anett Kontaveit, Aryna Sabalenka, Iga Swiatek, Barbora Krejcikova and Maria Sakkari will play in the championship for the first time. 28 years old Inga Swiatek will be the youngest player to feature in the WTA Finals, and at the same time 29 years old Karolina Pliskova of Czech Republic will be playing for the 5th time in a row and will also be the oldest and the most experienced player. Barbora Krejcikova of Czech Republic has qualified for both singles and doubles categories, and this is for the first time in the last 5 years that a player will play in both the categories. Earlier in the year 2016, Pliskova had achieved this feat. Arantxa Sanchez and Conchita Martinez had qualified in the year 2001. Both of them are currently the coach of Muguruza. Greece's star female tennis player Maria Sakkari has become the first Greek player to play in the WTA Finals. The competition will be organized in the group round format. The top 2 players from both the groups will advance to the semi-finals. Aryna Sabalenka, Maria Sakkari, Inga Swiatek and Paula Badosa have been placed in Group 1, whereas Barbora Krejcikova, Karolina Pliskova, Garbiñe Muguruza and Anett Kontaveit has been placed in the second group. The total prize money of the tournament amounts to a whopping amount of $5 million. Sports Desk, TD India.
Well, that's all we have for you today in Sports Buzz. Do stay tuned into DD India, however, for the latest news updates. Thanks for watching.